both doing what? Both beatboxing. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Friday evening. We have just settled the children upstairs. That's what Luce was talking about. Now we're here with you wonderful, beautiful humans for 40k After Dark, or Warhammer After Dark, the Friday night show. It's not really 40k tonight. I mean, it's still called 40k After Dark because we haven't rebranded the show yet. But we are back live. Fridays, if you are unaware, is incredibly different to any other show we do. Because we're going to talk a little bit about the hobby tonight because I can now. But it's Friday. We typically have a little bit of a drink. We chill out a little bit. We celebrate the weekend. We get excited about the weekend ahead. We have fun. We take the piss. We tell jokes. A lot of people, I think, join in with these and go, I don't know, what the fuck's this? It's not Warhammer content. I'm like, no, I know. This is just people hanging out, basically, on Friday. So if you are new to this, I apologise in advance. We'll talk a little bit about Warhammer, but inevitably what will happen is it will start. Oh, I think we've got some objective marker orders, by the way. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. But my phone's just gone off of another merchandise order, so it's worth looking. Anyway, thank you so much for coming back and joining us yet again on this fine Friday evening. Evan, thank you so much for 5 gifted memberships. Tonight they're called Friday's Freeloaders. Oh. Well, because gifted people are freeloaders, aren't they? So it's Friday's Freeloaders. So how many freeloaders can we get on a Friday? 444 freeloaders on a Friday. I just like the alliteration, to be honest with you. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, do the normal stuff. I'm not going to bore you on 40k After Dark, but press all the buttons, like, subscribe, all that shit, right? If you haven't already, please. It helps. We've seen a little bit of sub-growth boost over the course of the last 2 weeks. I don't know what it is. I'm going to say it's Vince and nothing to do with Peachy's video. But anyway, I'm happy with it, so thank you so much. We have yet some more of this glorious nectar tonight. I actually, the other day, was like, I might consider going teetotal soon. And this is literally the stuff that stops me. I could give up on beer. I could give up on cider. I don't care about spirits, really. I'm not bothered about wine. But that stuff is so nice. I'm like, oh, I just want to keep drinking my mead, so I can't officially be teetotal. Why? Oh, you're muted still anyway. Go on. Why have you upset yourself a little bit?
I've just watched somebody pull a baby crab out of their ear because they went snorkeling. I don't know why I've done that to myself.
Eric Odinson, son of Odin, thank you so much for 5 more gifted. Lucy's saluting. Good. I'm going to have to check, right? Anywho, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We've got 140 people watching, 54 of the finest likes right now. If we get to 100 straight away, I'll shut up about likes and I'll be happy. Now, tomorrow, me and Mr. the Kyle are making the pilgrimage in the morning up to Warhamster World in Nottingham. The reason why we're going up to Warhamster World in Nottingham is because there is an event tomorrow. And it is the Age of Sigmar kind of reveal, I don't know what they're calling it, event. They're demoing the game, showcasing the stuff in the box, etc. That's going to be happening tomorrow at Warhammer World. And I thought I'd grab a couple of tickets and go up there simply because I'm trying to mingle a little bit with the Age of Sigmar community because we are contemplating bringing additional content in the future that covers Age of Sigmar because Age of Sigmar version 4 looks so good. And I've told you repeatedly that it looks so good. And what we've also said repeatedly is it looks so good based on the articles. Well, as of this morning, I'm also allowed to tell you wonderful people. However, I need to say some things out loud because there is a person amongst us who's really fucking bad for leaking stuff, isn't there, Luce? So I need to say some things out loud, right? There is a number of things that I cannot say. So before you ask, I can't answer. And on the off chance Luce reads it and then accidentally just says something, I'm going to read this out loud now. Okay, are you listening, babe? All right. I showed this to the Thanes this morning. So things I cannot talk about still. The time and date of the event I attended, the location, the staff involved, direct quotes, other attendees, faction-specific rules, match play mission details. Okay?
These are all the things you can't talk about.
I can't talk about those things. Time and date, location, staff involved.
In reference to?
The fact that I have actually already played the new version of Age of Sigmar. And the embargo lifted today to tell people that I can talk about my experience of demoing Spearhead, my experience of demoing Age of Sigmar 4 match play, any context regarding why decisions made for the new edition of Spearhead, and any information regarding rules already released on Warcom. So I could talk about that.
I don't know what Warcom is.
Warhammer community
Oh.
page. So Lucy's aware of the fact that a little while ago I went away for a day and did some stuff, but you can't say where, who with, when, all right?
I genuinely don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, let's leave it that way,
You
right?
go away a lot.
Okay, good. I know what she's like, chat. Mordy Hammer, thank you for 5 gifted There we go. 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Mordy Hammer. I'm 15 already. Obviously, the target for Friday's freeloaders is always 100, because that's our target. Every single stream in the evenings, it's a target. However, as always, we are now 1, 2, 3, 4. We've given away 4 Lictor t-shirts now, Liz. 4. And if we get to 150 members, we give away another Lictor t-shirt. 4 have been given away already. I think 3 of the orders have been placed and are already shipped. There you go. Right, there you go. Right, so I have had to get that out there now because I know a bunch of people are going to ask or make assumptions about when or how or where or who with. And I'm not going to say a word about any of those things. What I can say is Joe and I have experienced 4th edition Age of Sigmar. We've played a full game of Age of Sigmar with the match play rules. We have played a game of Spearhead, full rules. We had seen the box and the details and had conversations about Age of Sigmar. The game I am incredibly excited for. I'm incredibly excited for it. Now, if you were awake last night at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, whenever it was, then you will have seen the reveals already as well, including the new Vermintide box and what that includes and what that entails. If you are also a little bit clever, you would have also looked at the terms and conditions of the competition that Games Workshop has announced. And they have announced a competition whereby 10 people or 10 boxes are going to be given away. As part of the T's and C's of the competition, they have to declare the value of the prize. And so the value of the prize has been declared at £160. That means the new Vermintide box is 160 quid. Now, I'll pull the article up in a minute and share it with you. But what you get for 160 quid is fucking incredible. Absolutely incredible for that money. Unbelievable. When you say full game, can you say how many points? I don't know how many points it was, but I would assume your typical 2,000. Because I don't actually know how many points it was. I just know that here's an army for you, here's an army for Joe, play each other, right? So, I'm allowed to talk about, like I said, if I get this little cheeky picture back up again, I'm allowed to talk about my experience demoing Spearhead, my experience demoing Age of Sigmar 4 match play. So let's start with the big game, actually. Let's start with Age of Sigmar 4 match play. Now, I've played limited amounts of AoS 3, okay? I've only played a bit of AoS 3. And I've tried to play AoS 3 on a number of occasions. I don't know how many occasions, but I've tried to play AoS 3 on a number of occasions. And the biggest issue I've always had with AoS 3 is there's a lot going on. There's a lot of different things and layers and extra match play rules and all that kind of stuff. I would say that within 2 hours, maybe less, Joe and I were competently playing battle rounds of Age of Sigmar 4 without any assistance. And that meaning that we had, I reckon, a reasonable to decent understanding of the core rulebook and the units that we were using. And from my perspective, it was amazing amounts of fun through all of the turns. Now, what I love during the demo of Big Boy Age of Sigmar 4 was that they've done something that I think 40k is missing, actually. And what they've done is they've managed to keep it a randomized dice game whilst maintaining balance throughout the game, so you never really feel like a game is running away from you. So for me, that is amazing. So nothing is a dead cert, or nothing seems to be a dead cert. Unlike 40k, where you can do an action that ends at the end of the turn, or you can roll this thing and things just happen and there's nothing your opponent can do about it, and things like devastate. That doesn't seem to be a problem in Age of Sigmar. So in Age of Sigmar version 4, I don't feel like anyone ran away with it, and when a person was in the lead, the other person often felt like there was definitely a chance they could pull their way back in that match by doing some cool shit. That's what I've always wanted from my tabletop war games. That's what I've always wanted from my tabletop war games. When you turn up to some games of 40k, and I don't want to shit on 40k too much, I'm fucking thoroughly enjoying 40k right now, and I've got a brand new idea for a brand new thing that we're bringing to the channel. Joe and I are bringing to the channel soon. I'm not going to spoil it too much. I shared the title of this thing with the Thanes yesterday, to showcase what we're looking at doing. I'm so high on 40k at the moment, actually. I don't want to shit on it too hard. But the problem I sometimes have with 40k is when you rock up and you see very much a rock, paper, scissors matchup, or you go, oh, turn 1, I've lost. That's not something that I'm particularly interested in playing, really. But the way in which they've put together Match Play AoS is incredibly familiar to 3rd edition, with all of the kinks and shit ironed out, and I'm a huge fan of it, right? And then we, and what we also did is we demoed Spearhead. Spearhead is Age of Sigmar's version of Combat Patrol. So Spearhead is what they're going to be renaming all the Vanguard boxes. In terms of price point, it's essentially the same cost as a Combat Patrol box, there or thereabouts. You get a number of units in the box, and then they have rules that they've written for those units, which are essentially the same rules as their big version, mostly scaled down. So some of the special stuff's been taken out. There's a very select number of units that have a slight tweak to their rules to make them fit into Spearhead. And then it has its own mission deck, including secondaries and stuff like that. That sounds daunting. It really isn't. It really isn't. Spearhead is what Combat Patrol should have been. Here's my positivity side on this as well. If Spearhead has learned from Combat Patrol, hopefully new Combat Patrol in the future learns from Spearhead, and they continue to evolve into essentially their own little gaming systems. My real hope, actually, having played Spearhead once, is that Spearhead continues to receive additional support in the guise of things like new mission decks or updated Spearhead like formations, I guess we'd call them. Because as a game, I think I played a full game of Spearhead in an hour and a half. I actually believe that with a bit of time, practice and competence, I probably would better play one in 45 to 50 minutes. So it sounds like a lot of fun, that game, and that's something that I think Joe and I potentially could bring as additional pre-recorded content, because if we can play it in an hour, we could probably film it in 90 minutes, and I think then we can make a video out of it. Tulio98 says, I've never played Combat Patrol. I play a lot of 40k. Yeah, neither have I, mate. I've never played Combat Patrol. Now, I would always assume that the majority of our audience, is 40k people. So one of the reasons why I'm so excited for Spearhead is it's, I think, perhaps a point of entry that is reasonable for most hobbyists that haven't played before. Some people will still think that the price of a Combat Patrol box is too much. But I think that for the majority, at least, getting into Spearhead is a reasonable gateway to give it a try. The layers, I have to be careful how much I say. The way Spearhead worked, we played Spearhead first. We then played Big Boy AoS 4 afterwards. The way it layers from one into the other is incredibly elegant. Spearhead does a very good job just by playing the game of teaching you elements for Big Boy Age of Sigmar when you step up and have access to all of your abilities and all of your like command point things that you can do, right? It's incredibly good at that. It's very good at that. And there's things that you will see in Spearhead. If you've never played Age of Sigmar before and you are coming from the 40k crowd, which I assume most of you are, there's things that you'll see in Spearhead and you go, oh, cool, okay, here's this one thing I can do this one time. And then you'll play Big Boy AoS and be like, oh, that's the same. But it's implemented the same, but instead of I can do it one time, I can do it many times, right? It's a very, 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 very nicely scaled version. Where it teaches, like Spearhead actually, this is where I think Combat Patrol often fails. Spearhead actually feels like it teaches you things that you can then utilize in full-size Age of Sigmar 4th edition, right? In fact, I would go as far as to say, my honest opinion at the moment is, for me personally, as a predominantly 40k player with a 40k channel, at the moment I'm more excited about playing lots of little games of Spearhead, because I don't have to put aside 2, 3, 4 hours to play a game of Age of Sigmar and learn the rules when I can play Spearhead in an hour and a half. I played Spearhead in an hour and a half when we did the demo, having never played Age of Sigmar 4 before. One of the first things we did was play Spearhead. Now, one of the things that it says I'm allowed to talk about is any context regarding the why of decisions made for the new edition of Spearhead. And I'm going to add some... I'm not allowed to direct quote, so I can't direct quote, but when you look at some of what's in the game and some of what's in the rule set, and you guys will get your hands on this stuff soonish, I guess. My assumption is we're looking sometime mid-June, July for the release, because that's the typical pattern of releases for Games Workshop, right? Whether that be Horus Heresy, 10th edition, that's looking like when it's going to be, okay? So you don't have to wait too long. When you do see it, what's amazing is they've managed to make things make sense narratively whilst keeping it a D6-based random game where you live and die on the dice, but also not allowing the dice to fuck you so hard that you think you just can't win and it's impossible. I don't know how they've done it. I don't know how they've done it, but they have. From my experience so far, one game of Spearhead, one game of big AoS. That's all I've had so far. I need to add that in there as well. I played one of each. Learned them both. That being said, if you've seen the article, let's get the article up. You are tapping away over there as well. Mm. You're not talking to chat, but I see you tapping.
Discord.
Oh, you're in Discordia. Okay. Yeah. Where all the cool kids hang out. Exclamation mark Discord if you're one of the... Oh, Jacob, thank you for the gifted. If you're one of the... Oh, Hunt Paints, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. If you're one of the 21 people who's been lucky enough to be gifted a membership and you're now also a freeloader, exclamation mark Discord, get yourself in the Great Hall Discord server. It's full of wonderful people. Thank you much for the gift. Don't forget, chat, 100 to target, 150 is a free Lictor t-shirt.
I'm also terrified of talking because I accidentally say something.
I've also, thanks to Mr. the Carl Moore, and last night's stream, I've also come up, I sent Scrivo a message today where I've come up with a t-shirt for women.
Okay, go for it.
And we hashed out the idea today. Hang on, let me get the message up so I remember the wording. And this came from Joe and Vince last night. So Vince last night played orcs, okay? He played, I think it was 5 or 10 knobs, 16 mega knobs. There was lots of knobs, right? And either Joe or Vince at one point said the title. Oh no, I've got Vince's. I didn't need Vince. I need John. Said the title. I'm so tired of knobs.
Is that the shirt?
That's the t-shirt. Yeah. I'm just gonna have a picture of an orc on it, but I'm so tired of knobs. There you go. One for the women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There was at one point where they were talking about goblins, and I misheard it, and he went, Goblin? I was like, Goblin? I hardly knew him, but I didn't know if that one worked. Anyway, thank you, Dave, for the 2. She's going to read that out in a minute. And I'll answer you. Right, anyway, Skaventide, right. Do I have to click a thing here?
Did you mishear it for gobble him?
Gobble him, yeah. That's what I misheard it, but it was Goblin. And I was like, that could be something we could do funny here.
Maybe lowercase the letters in gobble and then capital goblin.
I don't know, but I preferred the I don't know. Oh, what was it? I'm so tired of knobs.
What's rerolls like?
They're basically non-existent. There's no such thing as a command point reroll, for example. Basically non-existent, Dave. I have to be careful. There's things I'm not allowed to say. I have to be careful because there's a lot of things I want to say because it got me so excited and I can't. The positive for you guys is it got me excited and it's a positive thing. The caveat I'll throw at you all now. I need to say this now. Here's a disclaimer. Here's a big disclaimer for everybody watching right now. Please remember how excited I was about 10th edition and then what happened when it was released. Now, I did ask about whether there would be a 22-page clarification document on day of release. And I nearly got laughed out the room, and I also got looked at and swore at. I asked lots of questions whereby the person hosting us was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Because I like to ask the hard questions.
Yeah.
I feel like it's fair.
Well, I mean, yeah, I won't say that, what I was going to say.
No, but I feel like I need to ask the difficult questions sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I did. I asked some of the questions. I asked questions that basically pertained to some of the shit that I think is not right in 10th edition 40k. And I asked a similar question of the people that were demoing Age of Sigmar for us. And I got swore at a few times. But, you know, that's by the by. Anyway, I swear at them enough, so it's fair, isn't it? Let's have a look at last night's release very quickly. Once we get through this, we'll have done the serious wargaming bit, by the way. I'm aware there's 250 people, which is a lot for 40k After Dark, which means people have come in because I've said I've played new AoS. So let's get through this quickly.
You clickbait wanker, you.
But I have played new AoS, and I am talking about it.
Clickbait wanker.
What a wanker. So thank you, everybody. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, smash that like button. We've got 100 likes already. Thank you so much. I'll stop going on about it. 21 new members, £2.01 in Super Chat. I don't know where the 1 came from, because Dave's Super Chat was just £2. But anyway, Let's go to a bit of screen share action. Skaventide is a jam-packed launch box for the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. The peel of brass, but I'm not going to read the narrative for this. It's irrelevant, really, isn't it? We don't need to. But here is the Skaventide box for Age of Sigmar. Now, here's a couple of statements, which are very bold statements, and I hope I don't have to eat my own hat later on for getting these wildly wrong. Two statements I want to make. The first one is that as a rules change edition stroke update, I think this is the best job they've ever done, and I'm including Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40k in this. I think this is the best new rule set Games Workshop have ever released. Personal opinion so far, right? The second statement is kind of similar. This is by far the best launch box they have ever put out. And I don't think this can be argued with. The value of what's in this, compared to the price, if you're in the UK at least, of £160, is mental. Let's not talk about the poor Australians. The poor Australians, Luce, got flat fucked. £160 equates to around 310 Australian dollars. In the giveaways, terms and conditions, they had to put the Australian dollar value in there. So you would expect to see around 310 Australian dollars. 450 Australian dollars. I don't know what you lot did. I don't know if it's because you're all criminals in Australia and GW know that for every box they sell, one will be stolen. And so they have to put the price up to make the profit. I don't know what's going on there, but they continue to straight fuck you people in the Southern Hemisphere.
I'm guessing you played either Stormcast or Skaventide.
It doesn't say whether I can or can't say this. I played Silver, and Joe played Vampires, not Vampires, I can't remember what they're called. Soulblight Gravelords, because that's the two armies we have in the studio. All right. I did not play Lumineth or Skaven or Stormcast. Okay, so let's go back to the box set. Right.
That would be for our lottery and gambling rules that they have to declare.
I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it will be something to do with terms and conditions that shows that they have to declare the value.
So is every country's value in the T's and C's?
There's a few. I'll see if I can find it in a minute.
Do they all convert exactly to £160?
I don't think so, no. Typically not. But I think Canadians won't. US will be close because I think they've got their own distribution center in Texas or whatever. I'm not sure. What's in the box? We're not going to watch the YouTube video, but this is what comes in the box, right? This is fucking mental. The Skaventide, the Sweep Across the Mortworms, the Faithful Stormcast Hells, and Hallowed Knights are first into the fray. The gigantic box is the biggest Warhammer Age of Sigmar launch set yet, and it's packed to the brim with books and miniatures. I mean, it's one of the biggest ever, right? Look at this for a box set. What's in the box, I hear you ask?
Out of the box. Out of the box. Does anyone remember that?
What's in the box, I hear you ask?
What's in the box?
There we go. Joe does it really well.
Oh, wait, let me try again.
What's in the box, I hear you ask?
Rats rules.
They're in there too. Arnold, yeah, thanks for interrupting her again. What's in the box, I hear you ask?
You're being too big. I can't be that big.
What's in the box, I hear you ask?
No, that's too... Just get on with it. You've ruined it.
So what is in the box? Okay, there's 24 Stormcast Eternals miniatures. I've seen these in the flesh. They're fucking stunning. There's 50 Skaven miniatures. I've seen these in the flesh. They're fucking stunning. For the first time in forever, there is 4 terrain features, which is a thing, right? That's amazing. There are 2 range rulers. Are they in here? They show them? I don't know if they show them here. No, there isn't. There's a Warhammer Age of Sigmar core book, right? There is a Spearhead Fire and Jade book. This is your core book. It's a chunky monkey because it's a core rule book, right? This is your Spearhead book, right? Spoilers, it's a fucking chunky monkey. You get 2 books in this bastard, and the Spearhead book not only contains all the core rules so you can play Spearhead, but also contains all of the rules for every single Spearhead for every single faction. What? It's mental, right? You then get a Spearhead card deck, which is over here somewhere. There it is. That's a Spearhead card deck. You get a double-sided game board for Spearhead over here. Double-sided, has objective markers pre-printed on them. Amazing. And then you get General's Handbook cards as well, which means you've got the core book to play normal AoS. You've got General's Handbook to play Match Play AoS. You've got the Spearhead book, cards, and board to play Spearhead AoS. And you've got 2 forces, both of which are a full-size Spearhead or bigger. Mentalness, that is. Mentalness. The box is divided into 2 sides, coming in at 1,200 points. There are 24 Stormcast Eternals, Reforged Warriors, blah, 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 and 50 Skaven Swarming Horrors who fight with overwhelming numbers, etc., etc. The Stormcast Eternals, created by Sigmar himself. We know about the Stormcast, blah, 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 right? We now know about the Reforging. Here's the Lord Vigilant on Griftstalker. Fucking cool model.
GW did show off Spearhead with a celebrity match in the video they posted to YouTube already. In that video they showed off cards and rules.
Thank you for the 5. That was an interest. We'll talk about that in a moment. Okay. Lord Vigilant are the commanders of the bleak citadels. These quiet monasteries that house the Stormcast Eternals and the retirement of the Ruination Chamber. They ride on Corvine Griftstalkers wielding hallowed great axes and marshalling their allies with grim resolve. This is my favourite character, and this is my favourite new character in Age of Sigmar because of the narrative. And this is where I feel like the narrative is starting to get stronger, right? Lord Terminus, his narrative is incredible. I don't know how much of it they go into here. Did they tell you about the narrative? I'm not sure they do, right? There is one release from the Curse of Immortality, the oblivion offered by the Lord Terminus. In his hour of need, in this hour of need, these warriors will range the battlefield and take Skaven heads with their mighty blade Terminus. I won't spoil it because the narrative around him is sick as fuck. It's actually getting properly grimdark, right? You've got the Lord Veritant, you've got the Knight Quester, the new Reclusians who look cool as shit. I mean, these are just stunning, stunning models. The new Prosecutors with much better wings, and the new Liberators in the new mark of armor, which I think looks slightly nicer, right? Then we've got the Skaven. You've got the new Claw Lord on Norbeast, who looks phenomenal. You've got the new Grey Seer, who is beautiful. The new Warlock Engine Seer we've seen already, who's nice. The new Rattling Warp Blaster, incredible. Rat Ogres looks so much better. The Warplock Giselles, and we've obviously got Clan Rats, many of them. Big wow, right? What else is in the box? Well, that's your battle board. This is your cards. This is your mission cards. They're your secondary cards. The box contains all the terrain card decks and double-sided boards you need to play fast, tense games and Spearhead. You get a 144-page hardback Spearhead Fire and Jade book, which contains the rules for 25 separate Spearhead boxes, the Spearhead Battle Pack, and the core rules, all in one neat package. The terrain sprue even comes with 3-inch and 6-inch range rulers you can snap together, so all you need to get going is a handful of 6-sided dice. Right? Look at all this shit they're giving you. So much of it, right? There's your 272-page core rulebook, and your General's Handbook cards as well, which is amazing. And then there's some narrative that comes out with it. If only they'd done that with things like the Custodian's book. There's so much. So much. It's unbelievable. I think somewhere we can click on the see more for Stormcast. Nonsense. Is it this one? Is it find out more for Stormcast? Where we can look in the... It's this guy, Lord Terminus, right? Even with the somber Ruination Chambers, the Lord Terminus is a figure apart. Armed with a massive blade Terminus, they range the battlefield to execute the enemies of Sigmar with swift, sure strikes. These lonesome individuals are also responsible for the rites of the last threshold, taking the heads of soul-stricken Stormcast Eternals who voluntarily enter oblivion. They are accompanied by Memorian Squires who recount their battle honours and keep them tethered to the present. It's grim. He goes around beheading Stormcast. It's amazing. Fucking great. Fucking excited. Anyway, is there an article about the giveaway stuff? Did they do that? A complete... What else is in Skaventide? Reforged preview. Meet the unshakable Stormcast Eternals. Is it in here? Will they give away the... There's a giveaway thing somehow. Sign up to win. Okay. Oh, no, hang on. Is it in the... It's not in the privacy notice, is it? Where's the terms and conditions for this thing? Oh no, hang on. I did a thing. Oh, I can't be bothered to find it. I can't be bothered to find the terms and conditions, chat. But the terms and conditions do give you the prices in relevant currency. I think it's USD, Canadian, Australian, UK, and a couple of others, but I can't remember what they are. What a box. If you are interested in New Age of Sigmar, if you're interested at all in New Age of Sigmar, I would suggest the box is probably worth it. If you have no interest in Age of Sigmar, maybe not. But the models look good on images. They look even better in person, honestly. Honestly, so fucking good. What?
Thanks, Tel.
There's a lot of AoS talk on this Isn't This Luce's crochet channel. That's Mondays' hobby stream. I think you're fine. Thank you. Anywho, how many of you watched it? How many people are excited? If you've got any questions, like genuine questions, stick them on big colourful postcards for us. Alternatively, if you want to support us, one of the best ways of doing it is to gift memberships. We're not on 13 freeloaders. It's lying to you. We're actually on 21 freeloaders. So thank you so much to everybody who's gifted so far. 21 finest members. Our target is always 100. 150 is a Lictor t-shirt. I'll give away a free t-shirt. We've done it 3 times this week.
I think so.
Gave away one on Wednesday. We gave another way on one Wednesday because of Friday. And then we also gave away one last night. We've given away 3 Lictor t-shirts already, you wonderful people. So if you want a Lictor t-shirt, if you want to be in with a chance, get gifted, bitches. Very excited for this release. I am incredibly excited. Here's my biggest nervousness though, right? And I from a hobbyist and wargamers perspective, this is the difficult, right? This is the downside to the job. And I don't want anyone to be getting the little violins out here. This is not the intent. I don't want everyone to feel sorry for Liam and Joe. But here's the downside of being a content creator. Joe and I have demoed AoS 4 and demoed Spearhead and both went, this is fucking incredible. We just want to play this now, right? That being said, I'm also really thoroughly enjoying Warhammer 40k at the moment. I don't know why, but something has clicked recently that's got me really enjoying 40k again. So we want to not only play it, but we want to showcase it and video it and stream it as well. Okay, so we'd like to add AoS streams in the future. We'd like to add AoS video content in the future, etc. We'd really like to cover Age of Sigmar 4. So that's me as a hobbyist, right? As a hobbyist, we really want to play. And thank you, Just Jupiter, for the one gifted. Don't have to worry about saluting for one. It's just one.
I salute for all of them.
We're grateful, Just Jupiter. Thank you. It is just one. If everybody in chat right now gifted one, I'd let you salute because there's 265 new members.
I'm saluting anyway.
And if we got 265 new members, what we would then do is we'd be doing a Lictor giveaway t-shirt. In fact,
you don't own my salutes. I salute when I want to salute. Thank you very much.
So from the hobbyist perspective, absolutely want to cover Age of Sigmar 4. Absolutely want to play Age of Sigmar 4. From the business perspective, and I was literally talking to Mr. the Adrian from Tabletop Titans about this today.
I thought I heard his dulcet tone.
Oh, sexy voice. So from a business perspective, it's something about the American, Californian. Oh, I'd bum him. From a business perspective, right, here's the downside. I don't think that the viewership will be there for it compared to 40k. Eston, thank you for the gift. She's already saluted.
Why mention I Eston with a positive tone of voice, but not just Jupiter?
I did say thank you to Jupiter. I
It
said
was a
thank you for the
hollow
gifted.
thank
Thanks,
you.
Jimmy. Thank you for the one gifted. We don't need to salute these people.
I'm your friend, Jupiter. Me. I'm your
Canoness
friend.
Master, thank you for the one gifted. They're listening. They're listening loose.
I love them all. They don't need to buy my love. You're the wanker that's being all weird about
They
it.
do need to buy our love. That's how this weird relationship works.
Oh.
I wear
They need to buy a membership.
when
They need to buy my
I'm at
love.
places like Warhammer Worlds tomorrow. I wear high banded underwear so they can tuck fivers in.
Aww.
Please don't anyone do that ever.
It's nice
that would
that you
fucking
think you'll
freak
get
me out.
fivers.
Eh?
That's nice that you think you'll get fivers.
I mean, it's
If
the
the
lowest.
one-
It's
if the
literally the
£1
lowest note we have.
If the £1 note was still around,
I would have
I'd
said
be
that.
saying that one.
I'd have said that. Yeah, we don't have a £1 note.
That's nice. You think
But
you'll
what I
get
don't want to walk around with is a set of pants full of £1 coins. That'd be weird. Anyway, I legitimately, my biggest concern at the moment is that I think that if Age of Sigmar ever had a chance to be nearly as big or as popular as Warhammer 40k, Arnold, thank you for the gifted. If there was ever the chance, this would be it. It would be it. This would be its chance. This is its chance to snaffle up a huge chunk of the disenfranchised, like despondent 40k community. This is its chance. But Brandon, Lagasse, and Marsanda, thank you for the gifted each. Barros Forge, thank you for 5 gifted. Salute, woman, salute. Salute, Luce.
I was already there.
Don't chin him off. Come on, salute.
I was already there.
So this is a downside.
You tossed that salute
This is the
in.
downside of you not having a camera.
I even swapped my salute so I could have some juice and
I
then swapped
can't
it back.
believe you didn't salute Barros
You're a
Forge.
tosser, you are.
Unbelievable.
Michael's saying something really clever and I don't understand it.
What's he saying?
Apparently, Chat has a parasocial relationship with Liam and Luce has a parasocial relationship with Chat.
Parasocial is a word I've seen a lot lately. I don't know what it means.
I'm going to Google that.
So yeah, I if it ever had a chance, now is the chance. Now is the chance for Age of Sigmar to take a chunk of the despondent 40k audience and go, come and play this game instead. It's full of beautiful miniatures. The lore is getting better. The rule set is the best we've ever made, right? That being said, I think the 40k fan base, the 40k viewership, the 40k player base is just too stubborn. I think they just love Warhammer 40k too much. And I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm not criticizing them. I'm never letting go of Warhammer 40k. I'm never letting go. I love it too much. I adore it. I've got Warhammer 40k coming out my fucking ears around me right now. I'm mad for it. So in my perfect little world, we do almost as much AoS content as 40k content. From a business perspective, I think that's just not going to be worth it. I think we're going to have to continue with 95% of our content being 40k. Well, maybe not 95, maybe like 80% of our content being 40k, and then maybe 20% being Age of Sigmar rather than 50-50. But let me know what you guys think. Genuinely interested. What? That's a sad face. Why is there a sad face?
Parasocial relationships are one-sided relationships where one person extends emotional energy, interest and time, and the other party, the persona, is completely unaware of the other's existence.
That doesn't sound true though.
I love Chat.
Like if you were like Taylor Swift,
A bit
right?
mean.
That'd be pretty true. But I see their names in front of me. I'm well aware of their existence. I don't feel like this is parasocial.
Not here for only 40k just for the group. Play AoS.
Thanks, Marsander. You're amazing. If I buy any more Warhammer, my hubby would not be pleased. The thing is, both games are expensive. If you're a new person coming into the store and 80% of people are playing 40k, you're going to follow the herd. 100% Kate. Absolutely. Absolutely unbelievable. I think AoS might have some big army releases this year too, potentially. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe what's going to happen is that Age of Sigmar is going to explode with this new version, and it's going to be 60-40. I don't think it will ever get as big as 40k or overtake it, but I think it maybe could be close to 50-50. I'd like it to be close to 50-50. I just don't think it will be. So having heard what you said, Liam, this is now an AoS channel. Absolutely not. I love 40k far too much. I think part of my reinvigoration recently has been the Chaos Space Marine book as well. In seriousness, I'm just thoroughly enjoying Warhammer at the moment. I guess so I was talking to Joe about this the other day. Here's the best part, right? I think Joe and I are in a space right now, after we did the demos of Age of Sigmar. I think Joe and I are in a space right now where we're just loving Warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter whether it's 40k, whether it's Age of Sigmar, whether it's Kill Team, whether it's Warcry, whether it's Old World. The pair of us are just loving everything Warhammer. And after speaking to Adrian and Vince at length, I'm looking at I've been getting into a little bit more of Magic the Gathering. I just love war games and fantasy and high fantasy and sci-fi and essentially escapism. The big thing is it's escapism, right? Neil Woodall, thank you for the 5 gifted. You're not going to salute for that one either.
You're a prick. Neil, I am saluting.
Apparently,
Saluting my arse off over here.
It's got to be at least 10, otherwise Luce won't bother anymore.
You're a knob. I'm so tired of knobs.
I'm so bored of knobs. Told you, great t-shirt. You see, I think world building and lore is an important factor to the potential success of AoS over the longer term. Yeah, I think so too. I would watch pre-recorded content for AoS, maybe start with Spearhead, like you said. I'm not sure about full game yet. Our current intent, if I'm honest with you, P-Turbo, our current intent, and I've had this conversation with Joe, our current intent at the moment is to pre-record Spearhead on. So basically, we do Liam and Joe show, then we do a full game of 40k in the evenings. We're going to see if we can squeeze in a pre-recorded game of Spearhead in between those shows, so there's no extra commitment for Joe to come down on a different day. It's not like we're taking a significant amount of additional resource, and then see how that performs. And if it performs well and we're enjoying it, brilliant. Maybe we'll expand, maybe we'll put some more resource into it, maybe we'll grow into bigger Age of Sigmar. However, Saints have scored. However, if it doesn't do anything, It didn't really take us a ton of time and effort extra. It took a bit, made our Tuesdays and Thursdays a bit busier, but it was an experiment, right? And then I think if we have an experiment and it fails, it fails. I think with content in general and YouTube in general, you can't, I've said this forever, I've said this to previous people I've worked with, you cannot tread water with YouTube. You just can't. There's a reason why when we started streaming, 3 years ago, we were doing 1 to 2 shows a week, and we now, on a normal week, will do 6 to 7 shows a week. Because you can't just tread water. And our games have gone from being 3 cameras to 5 cameras in a brand new studio with an integrated scoreboard and all that kind of stuff. Right? You can't tread water on YouTube, because if you tread water on YouTube, you drown. Because there's no one out there that can tread water forever. It's impossible.
Yeah.
You have to swim forward. And so we're prepared to stick some time into AoS and some effort into AoS to see if it works and have that experiment. I'm more than prepared to have that experiment. And if you guys vote with your views, either positively or negatively, I'm never going to be upset and cry. If you vote negatively, cool, we tried it. It didn't really work. If you vote positively and you watch loads of it, how do we expand this and keep people watching? Whilst also, I might add, not hurting our 40k community or viewer base is the important caveat there. Now the thing is with Spearhead is I feel like, and Andrew's kind of said this already, I feel like we could potentially get it down to a 45 to 50 minute episode. It's important in the UK because we treat our workers like humans, so we give them a lunch hour often, which means it's lunch hour consumable.
Yeah.
Which is ideal, really, to be fair, because a battle report pre-recorded is often 90 minutes to 2 hours. You can't consume it on a single lunch break.
Yeah, but also, the lunch hour, it's not really an hour, is it? Because by the time you got yourself your lunch and you sat down with a cup of tea and you've finally been left the fuck alone to have a lunch break, maybe 10, 15 minutes of that's already gone.
It's been so long since I've had a lunch break, darling, I don't know.
I think the lunch hour should be in like air quotes. It's time for my lunch hour.
Yeah, so if we can do a 40 to 50 minute episode, it's pretty reasonable, isn't it? I don't want it to be an hour. I want it to be less.
Yeah, because it's not an hour. It won't be an hour.
I said to Joe, if we aim for 40 minutes, it will inevitably come out at 50 minutes, and then it's golden.
Thanks, Neil. I salute you for putting up with Liam and loaning your garage to us for a bit. How parasocial is that?
I didn't see you salute Neil like she didn't salute you.
I did.
So you can stop not saluting each other, okay?
Just jealous. So jealous.
Games Workshop hurt the 40k viewership, not you. I get it. You guys are getting a lunch hour. I get 30 minutes.
See, Ed did it right. He put it in like asterisks or air quotes.
When I worked at Siemens and we did 12-hour days before I was in management, we were allowed a lunch half hour and 2 50-minute breaks in a day, and you were allowed to amalgamate them into 1 hour if you wanted to. So I had a lunch hour. I'd basically work for 6 hours, have a lunch hour, then work for 5 hours and go home.
When I did my care shifts, we had paid breaks because there wasn't a staff room. So you'd end up having your cups of tea with residents, which was lovely if you had sort of capacity for that day to not be left alone except for bathroom breaks. But there were days that I thought I would really just appreciate the staff room and to have a lunch hour that's unpaid so I can actually come away. 13 hours
It's a long old
with not
time.
having time to be on your own except for bathroom breaks. It's not.
It's a long time to be on your feet as well, which you predominantly were.
Yeah. My record, my worst shift, I remember saying to a colleague, oh my God, I haven't gone to the toilet for 10 hours. That was really bad.
Yeah.
Got a water infection that day. That
Yeah. Then came over here and destroyed it.
Hey!
Anywho, I'm curious as to your thoughts. So I've given you my thoughts. Obviously, I've played the game. I'm lucky enough to have played the game so far. Big shout out to GW. I'm lucky enough to have played the game and played Spearhead. But from what you've seen, at least last night in the launch box, what do you guys think? Stick it on postcards for us. Big, colourful, probably red postcards. Stick it on postcards for us. Let us know what you think of the box. I think Age of Sigmar. I think 40k will always be my main and favourite game, but I think currently the Age of Sigmar team are embarrassing the 40k team, is my honest opinion. And I feel like, here's the thing, right? We often talk about the teams at Games Workshop being siloed and they kind of don't really work together. But I actually welcome competition if the teams step up when they're competing with each other. And at Age of Sigmar go, here's our release, 40k team. It's fucking better than yours. And 40k team are like, next edition, 11th edition, hold my fucking beer. Our turn. Now ours is better than yours. We're giving our customers even better than you did. Then Age of Sigmar go, fuck you. Our turn. Like, that's good competition. But at the moment, I feel like the AoS team have just flat embarrassed the 40k team, if I'm honest with you. I forget I'm 5 minutes in the past. Dave B's brilliant. Worth it even if you aren't interested in either of those factions. I mean, the models are stunning, Brian. They're so good. And even like, if you're not going to use any of those models, then the £160 price tag is pretty steep, to be fair. For terrain, 4 bits of terrain, the Spearhead rulebook, the main rulebook, and the extra ancillary stuff. I think at that point, the price point is probably a bit high, but the boxes are incredible. Absolutely incredible. Anyway, thank you to everybody who gifted. We are up to... Oh, the tracker's wrong. Why is it when I'm here, the tracker always breaks loose? I think it breaks because you don't salute properly.
I'm so bored of you.
So bored of knobs.
So bored of knobs.
I hate the mentality, all GW work together, bring the best product across everything all the time. I think, I don't know, it's hard. I have been in a workplace where, as a management team, we have encouraged friendly competition between shifts, and it has been nothing but positive. As one of the lead managers, it depends on how the competition takes place. If the competition is we're going to outshine you, but within the relevant parameters, it's great. If the competition is I'm going to dull your light and make you look shit, so we look better, that's negative. So it's about how you cultivate that competition and how you get people competing with each other. So you can't buy 2 Spearhead boxes for 160 quid at non-discount prices. It's well priced for me, but I prefer AoS. Rich, it's incredibly priced. Honestly, it's incredibly priced. You said that the AoS 3 rulebook was fantastic, excellent layout rulebook, subcategories to show the 10th edition came out and didn't learn anything. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, Mectoplasm. Like, at the moment, the competition doesn't exist at all. Really. Like, Age of Sigmar, I've just pissed all over 40k for a little while now, to be fair. But, anyway. Saints are still 1-0 up. You care?
What?
I said Saints are still 1-0 up.
Is that why you're looking at your phone?
Yeah. It's the second leg of the playoff semi-finals. This is where you're excited.
No.
Is it?
No.
What do you mean no?
No. I heard through the grapevine there's a football charity game on with past legends of Saints playing.
Oh.
And I asked, will Legod be there? And they were like, actually, I don't know.
He probably will be. He's quite old now, though. I don't know.
Planning on swapping to AoS, but looking at starting Daughters of Cain and in NZ, so might skip the launch box.
If you're in NZ, Canada SMRC, it's probably a steep price, if I'm honest. I imagine your prices won't be too dissimilar to Australian dollars.
I'm certainly down to give Spearhead a try, but I'm mortified of painting AoS models. So much cloth and skin is scary.
I mean, I'm hoping, Michael, what we see is a raft of new, like, how to paint content and stuff and how to paint videos from the community out there. People like, for example, people like Josh, people like Warhipster, I'm sure will stick out a bunch of contrast-based tutorials for you to tackle that skin and cloth with relative ease, to be fair. A little bit of brush control, follow his tutorial, I'm sure you'll get them painted up in no time at all. Spearhead is going to be, I think, an incredible game because you can go to like a cafe and play it in an evening. Like we can play it on our kitchen table.
Oh, like old times.
It's a quarter of the size of a full-size gaming board. It's a quarter, so we can literally fold the board out, put it on our dining room table, and play. And everything's on cards.
That sounds more like what I would imagine this to be. Because Warhammer, I don't even remember when I first started talking to you about it, but I remember it just being like an absolute undertaking. And there was so much stuff to come with you, and the game got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But there was a time things just seemed to fit on the table or on, because you used to use the bed.
Yeah,
and things just used to fit quite nicely, and then it somehow got bigger and bigger.
Ironically, when we put things on the bed, it was a 6 foot by 4 foot board. We put a 6 foot by 4 foot board on the bed, but you didn't need rafts of books and tokens and blah.
Yeah.
You used some dice and your codex, and off you went. 40. You're right though. 40k right now as a big game is a fucking undertaking.
Yeah.
Even now, where they've gone, here's data cards. We were talking about this with Vince yesterday, right? And I hadn't figured this out. But we were talking about it. Ramo Clock, thank you for the gifted.
Did you see that, chat? Did you see that he looked over at me and then said, thank you, Romo Clock? That would be because he saw my hand come up to my head and salute.
A little green box popped up in my peripheral vision. I can see the green box right now.
Don't I? We all saw it.
I can see it right now.
We all saw it.
I can see it right now.
You flicked to me and then you went, thank you, Romo Clock.
I can still see the green box right now.
I am saluting. Knob.
I can still see the green box. It hasn't gone up one yet. And now it's climbed a level.
We'll just see. We'll see about that. The next one that comes up, your eyes will flick to me and then flick to the computer.
It's not true.
It is true. Anyway.
She won't salute unless it's 20 gifted.
You're a liar.
So yeah, so we were talking about this yesterday, right? I was like, when they brought out 40k, they brought out, I don't think I have an example that I can show. They had the data cards. They brought data cards out. I don't know if you've seen these. Did you see them when we had the team day? The guys using these cards with all their rules on.
The tiny deck cards.
No, not the about that big.
Okay.
Ish,
yeah.
right. And when they index 10th edition, like all your information's on cards. So you get your pack of cards. You pick your 10 units. Take the 10 cards out that you need for those 10 units. Do one card for your army rule, one card for your stratagems. There you go. You've got 12 cards. That's everything you need.
Okay.
All the other ones, you don't need them.
Is that supposed to keep it random?
No, it's not about random. It's about streamlining. So you haven't got to flick through pages of rules that you don't need. You haven't got to, like, here's your 12 cards. This is all you need. Everything else can go away. This is all you need.
12 still seems a lot.
I mean, it is, but it was better than flicking through codex pages to find that unit than flicking back to right. Cool, beautiful, brilliant. Then they released the updates. The codexes started coming out. So that was the index where they basically went all new rules for everybody, and everybody gets cards. Right, all new rules for everybody. Everybody gets cards. We won't talk about the fact that they misprinted them and still sold them anyway. We won't talk about that, cunts. But codexes came out, and I was like, brilliant. And when the codexes came out, they brought out new cards, updated cards with the new rules from the codex, and they were beautifully laid out. And they always have shiny edges, and they're very, very pretty. And I remember getting the first box and flicking through the cards and being like, where's the stratagems and the army rules? Because they printed those on cards for the first set. For the index set, the launch set, and they hadn't done it. They hadn't put them in there. They've only got rules for all the units.
Was that the misprint?
It wasn't a misprint, no. They've chosen not to. So you can only get the stratagems and the detachment rules and the army rules in the codex. So you now have to have your 12 cards and have your book.
What's the little deck then? What's that?
That's your missions.
That's a lot of missions.
and then if you want the code for the app, so you can list build on the Warhammer app, you also have to buy the codex. Because it's got a little code in the back of the codex. There is a little in the back of the codex here. I can't show them because I'll try and steal it. There's a little code in the back of the codex there. Right, that code. You have to put that into your My Warhammer account, and that unlocks that codex on the app.
Okay.
If you don't have that code, you can't unlock the codex in the app, and you can't see all the rules.
Okay.
But you have to buy this book to get that code. So what could have happened is they could have let you buy the code in the app for like a tenner.
Yeah.
Sold you the cards and given you all of the detachment rules and stratagems.
Yeah.
You'd never need to buy this. Never. And they were like, make a lot of money off of these. We need to make sure people have to buy them. And I'm bad for asking for fucking members. I'm the evil one.
You're a knob.
The 12 cards and the crate and the errata page to fix them, obviously, yeah, and the 22-page clarification document alongside the rule book, then the FAQs, then the erratas for each individual faction, then chapter approved, then the chapter approved errata, then the match play tournament mission pack. This is the state of Warhammer 40k right now.
Yeah, but you all keep buying it.
Because it's fucking great and I love it. Because it's great. Even though it's shit, it's great. That's why.
We should create a support group for people who are trying their best to not pay for Warhammer, to make a point to Warhammer that...
Ace, I've already created that support group, and what they can do is they can spend the money elsewhere.
We need a support group for this support group.
Exclamation mark gift.
Because I think you're all still somehow getting hold of it. So we need a more robust support group.
Any news on the AoS app for 4th? No news. I'd imagine it will be the same app, which is a different app to the 40k app. Because why would you just put everything in one place? You could buy digital editions last edition where there was no app support. Yeah, in 7th edition you could buy digital codexes and there was no app for it. The fucking company's bonkers. It's bonkers. The company's mental.
Do you reckon, you know when you go into some really big corporate companies, they have a lobby with lovely music in?
Yeah.
Do you reckon their music is...
Oh, honestly, I reckon if anyone was ever allowed access to the CEO's office at Games Workshop, he'd have a set of boxes on his head and pencils coming out his nose. Like, that's what he's going to be doing, sat there, honestly. They're fucking mental up there, honestly. I think you should have a mannequin behind Liam that Luce can salute on. Just picked up Deathwing box line and Azrael. Oops, don't be oops. Those beautiful, Christian. Beautiful models. Also, chat, we do, for those of you who are regulars, we do have a monumentally large number of grey names in chat and only 39 gifted so far, which means we're 111 away from a Lictor t-shirt. Did you want a Lictor t-shirt?
No, I want the...
You want the Knobs t-shirt?
Yeah, I want the girl.
You like the Knobs t-shirt?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
There's certainly a time in the month where you can buy Knobs, sick of them, or whatever it is.
We could probably do something with that. If it wouldn't make everyone feel uncomfortable that there's a reference to menstruation, then...
Yeah, we could do a Blood for the Blood God one.
Yep.
Wearable.
Wearable
6 days a month. Where did we go? That's disgusting. Sorry, chat. Is there a channel in Discord for narrative mission ideas? I had one yesterday that I might want to share. I don't think so, but we can certainly create one some point in the near future. Hyped or nah? Hyped, 100% hype star. Absolutely 100% hyped. Genuinely. But I'm also in a place at the moment where I'm just fucking... I built this guy. Joe and I we had a heated discussion on Wednesday.
You and Joe? An actual... What? Together or against each other?
Against.
Oh, wow. Your first fight.
He was wrong.
Do you hear your PDA profile ever? Do you ever hear it? Do you ever hear your tone of voice and go, oh, I think I hear it now?
What's PDA profile?
It's usually it comes with people. Well, if you have autism, you can sometimes have PDA. It's like a... Oh, it's difficult.
Joseph's about to get the membership. Guess what? I didn't look at you at all because you didn't salute.
No, because I was trying to explain PDA. It's called pathological demand avoidance, but I hate it because it makes you sound like a serial killer. I heard it reframed as persistent demand for autonomy. So whenever someone challenges you, you immediately rear up against it. And it can be almost anything. So when you're like, Joe's wrong, like you're very like, bang, bang, Joe's wrong.
But the reason why I rear up against it is because they're always wrong. So, chat, the discussion that we had was around this little chap here, right? The Hellbrute model.
Why might Joe be incorrect?
Because he is. This is the Hellbrute model. This is the Chaos Hellbrute model. And I've never built the plastic Hellbrute before. And after reading the Chaos Space Marine Codex, I got all Chaos Space Marine excited. And World Eaters could take Hellbrutes too. So I built a little Hellbrute model that I had somewhere in the house, right? With my little fancy bases and stuff like that. And I actually put it together. I was like, I actually quite like this model. This model's really cool. And then I messaged Joe and I was like, you're wrong, by the way. Hellbrute models are good. And he went, no. And I said, why no? Out of interest, why no? He said, they're too demonic. It's like, Joe, they're Chaos Space Marines, you fucking moron. They can't be too demonic. They literally ally with demons. He's like, nah, too demonic for Chaos Space Marines. I was like, you run Demon Princes and Warp Talons. They're literal demons. No, the Hellbrute's too demonic. It needs to be more like a Dreadnought. It's not a Dreadnought. It's a Hellbrute. Right? They're different. And he, obviously, as you know, runs Contemptors. So I've asked you, chat, yeah or nah on the Hellbrute model. And the answer is yeah. And if you put nah, you're wrong. So you know. Okay. And your poll isn't going to convince me otherwise. I'm just saying. But the Hellbrute model is cool as shit. And there's tons of options, and that makes it cool Warhammer still, right? It's not a bad model in of itself, but I do wish there was a model closer to the Redemptor Brutalis. Oh, I think there's scope for us to have more options of units in Chaos Space Marines that isn't just the Hellbrute. Still 1-0, come on. But
Who are they against?
West Bromwich Albion.
Are they good?
Well, they're in the playoff semi-finals.
Of
The English Championship.
Oh, that sounds good.
I mean, it's not the top flight; it's the second flight of English football.
Okay, that's too much. I can't.
But I'm in a weird place now because, like, I was saying this to my brother the other day. I kind of want Saints to win because I like Saints winning. But if they win and they go to the final and they win, they get promoted to the Premiership, which is the top flight league, right? But when we go to the Premiership, and I followed Saints for many, many years, what happens is we just get fucking beat by everybody, and it's depressing. Now, this year in the Championship, we've won more games than we've lost. So I kind of want to get to the final, lose, stay in the Championship, just so we can keep bullying the little kids.
Oh, so you're a big fish in a little pond.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's much nicer experience as a fan.
You're right. That's a more dignified. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Definitely do that.
How many of you, if any of you 250 people chat, and I'm still consciously aware that not all of you have at least liked, how many, Martin, you can fuck off. How many of you, I bet you can still paint it pretty, how many of you are going to Warhamster World tomorrow for the Age of Sigmar blah 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 event? I don't know what they've called it. What did my email say today?
The Age of Sigmar blah 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 event.
That's what I think. That's the official name for it. I think that's the official name for it. I need to get off of unread emails and go onto all my emails. Oh my god, I made a mistake there. How do I go all the way to the top? I get too many emails. Right, okay. I get too many emails and 98% of them are just shit. And I'm like, I never subscribed to that mailing list. Why am I on that mailing list? That was in the t-shirts that we ordered earlier for the giveaway winners. That's not going to be one tonight. Mortal Realms, Reforged, Introductory Games, Warhammer World, Opening Hours, and Rival Information. There you go. Could not get a ticket. You are aware... I'm going to read you a paragraph here, Mr. Martin Waller. Okay. Warhammer World will be open from 10 a.m, 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. tomorrow, so there's plenty of time to explore the exhibition, enjoy refreshments in Bugman's Bar, or browse the stores while waiting for or after your demo games. Furthermore, Warhammer World is not ticket entry only tomorrow, so if you have friends that wish to come along without participating in the demo games, they can still visit. Tickets are required to access the demo areas. Right, Martin. I'm sorry, everybody else. 247 more people in chat. I know you live near Warhammer World. Have you got the day off tomorrow is my first question before I say the next part, Martin. Have you got the day off tomorrow? Moosey Boy, thank you for the gifted membership. I'd have known if you just looted.
Oh boy, are you in trouble when we log off?
Will you help me cut my hair now?
Is this what this is all about?
A little bit. I play the long game.
I am poorly today.
I always
play. No.
I always play the long game. You know me. It's an important question, Mr. Martin, for tomorrow, all right? I'll explain why if you give me an answer. If you give me the wrong answer, then I won't explain because I don't want you to rage and bite your phone. This stuff is so nice. Live in Oz, so won't make it in time. But if you start now, if you set off now, you might make it. Ignore the emails about growing penis size. They don't work. Sometimes, does anybody else do this? Sometimes I peer into the depths of the junk folder to see what I've been sent.
I love how many deliveries that are supposedly coming for me that I never ordered.
Yeah, I get a ton of messages apparently from DVLA.
Do you remember my seafood order for my pet orca whale?
Your pet orca whale, yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Just a common pet orca whale.
Babe, are you in tomorrow? Because I'm apparently getting quite a huge
right.
order.
Martin, you said you're off, and I know you're not too far from Warhamster World. Okay, hear me out, right? I am going to Warhamster World tomorrow with Mr. the Kyle, okay? And I have 2 tickets for the demo area, right? Now, I know how much you love Age of Sigmar, Martin. I'm going to do this live on air now in front of 250 other people, okay? I love Martin. I've not seen him for a while. I have 2 tickets for the demo area. Now, as you can tell by the title of this stream, I do not need to go into the demo area. I've played the full game. I've seen all the box. I've seen all of the rule books. I've flicked through all the rule books. I've read the Spearhead book. I've played Spearhead. I don't need to go into the demo area. I've bought 2 tickets. I say I bought. I acquired 2 tickets for me and Kyle to go. Kyle probably does want to go into the demo area because he didn't do the demo. It was just Joe and I, which means, Martin, I have another ticket spare for the demo area that I don't need. So if you come and find me tomorrow, I won't go into the demo area. I don't even know if you have to book demo stuff. Might be worth finding that out before you travel up there. But if you come and find me tomorrow, you can have my demo area ticket and go in and see it. I don't need it. I've seen it all. But when I got the ticket, I had no idea that what they were doing for today was just showcasing everything I'd already seen anyway. So maybe that'll make you feel better. I'm a nice guy. See, I did a nice thing.
Yeah, but now you're not a nice guy because you've just said you were a nice guy.
Because I'm going to help me cut my hair before tomorrow.
Oh, no.
But if I do it on my own,
You've been torturing me for the past hour about my salutes. Oh, no.
If I cut it myself...
Do not give me the razor today.
If I cut it myself, you'll be like, you're doing it wrong!
Your eyebrows will be missing if you give me that razor today. Or maybe a bit of the beard. Sorry, slipped.
You can help. I think you can help.
No,
It'll be worth it.
No, I'm poorly.
I will supply you with the money for Domino's Pizza tomorrow when I'm away.
Nope. Nope. I'd rather make them pizza. It's nicer.
I will put the next set of underwear you wear in the microwave so they're warm when you put them on.
No, please don't do that.
I will. I've done for that things already. If you don't want those 2 things, there's nothing I can really do.
There you go.
Cut his hair loose. Yeah, thanks, Mad Larkin. Exactly. There you go. Very good, sir. Thank you. I'll text you later. You're welcome to. Honestly, if you're off for the day and you're free and it's not too much of a ball ache with family stuff, etc., and you can make it up there, you might as well. It might be worth phoning ahead and seeing if you need to book on demo stuff or whatever, because I haven't booked on any demo stuff. I think you can go in the demo. Okay, I think you can go in the demo area without having pre-booked a demo game, but I don't know for definite if that's the case. Right? You book a. I had an email about this. You book a demo game with the Warhammer World concierge. Fuck off. The receptionist. So the guy who sits at the bottom of the entrance, I think, it's who you have to book in with now. I haven't booked demo games because I've played it. But yeah, so it may be worth speaking to him in the morning before you come up, but you're more than welcome to use my ticket to get into the demo area, and I'll just hang out at Bugman's and chat to other people. I'll cut hair. I'll cut yours tomorrow, not far from Warhammer World if you like, says Kimmy.
There you go.
You just have to get robbed. I'll just do it myself tonight, and then she'll whinge at me because I did it all wrong. I think you'll help. I reckon you'll help.
No, I reckon I won't.
I reckon you're just trying to be all boyish in front of chat.
Nope. Nope. I reckon I won't cut your hair because you've been torturing me for an hour about my salutes.
Well, you should have saluted then, shouldn't you, really?
Plus, I'm poorly, so I'm not doing it.
Poorly.
I'm going to bed.
It can't be classed as poorly. It's natural. Anyway, we're on 41 of the finest new members, you beautiful people. £18 in super chats. So we probably can't afford the power for the Clippers anyway. Not nowadays.
Not with our energy provider.
Not with our energy providers, no. Not with the 41 members and £18 in super chats. Jesus.
I might invest in one of those human-sized hamster wheels and be like, right, Ben, you've got the worst ADHD of all of us. On you go. Burn it off. Power the house.
Stu Black could be there tomorrow. On a Saturday, I doubt it. Late to the part about Hellbreach. Love the model, but it's too squat. It needs to be closer to Redemptor size. No, I prefer the squat. Royal Pepper, I prefer the squat. Redemptors are too tall. I love Redemptors. They're beautiful kits. They're beautiful models. I think they're amazing, but I think they're too tall. They're too big. Too chonky. Too chonky. Quick question for you, Liam. Did you have a chance to do more Lumineth reading? Not yet, no. Either from the battle time or listen to the end of Enlightenment, or has your long bike ride not happened yet? Nothing's happened with that yet. I'm still sat there waiting. Saints have scored another goal! Ray. There we go, good, right. There's always consequences. Oh, don't worry, I'm aware. Two of them are sat upstairs right now. No, I haven't. So
You just can't. You can't do it, can you? You can't be like, I'm really sorry. Obviously, she saluted, chat. You know she did because she's lovely. Out of the two of us, she's the angel. I'm the knob. So obviously, she saluted. I'm sorry, Luce. I love you. Please forgive me. Here's my credit card. I will never do it again. See, he can't do it.
Flat reviews. Flat fucking reviews. You get enough out of me. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so the Lumineth stuff. No, so I've actually started, I'll be honest with you, I've started listening to the Horus Heresy again. I don't know why. I switched. It might be because of the Chaos Space Marine book. But the Lumineth book is literally sat next to me to be read. I just haven't got around to it. But I have waves of like excitement and waves of inspiration, and it switches. It's the ADHD in me. It switches very quickly, and it switches back, and it switches again. So it won't be like in 2 weeks' time. I'm working on something right now, and in 2 weeks' time that will change, and it'll be Lumineth again, and I'll be on it, and then the audiobook will come back on, and I'll be listening to that, and I'll be reading, and I'll make what you'll see is I'll make huge advancements in about 2-3 weeks, and then it'll switch again, and that's just how it works. There is Liam mic mess up. What? Liam may not be a wild one tomorrow, maybe suffering. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Too big, not something I expected to hear today. Who said too big?
Not me.
Oh. I've never heard that. This stuff's just too nice, Luce. Because a walking coffin mech suit for a 7-foot tall super soldier should be a compact box. Imagine I'm saying this with all the sarcasm I can muster. Yeah, but he's dead, isn't he? So it doesn't matter how big the box is. It doesn't have to be a full set. You're going to be shorter than 7 foot. He's dead. Fuck him. If you're not at Warhamster World tomorrow, chat, tell me what you're doing. Let us know what you're up to this weekend, hobby-wise. You got any projects on the go at the moment or planned? I know you've been working in the garden. Tomorrow's supposed to piss down though, so
I hope so, because my raspberry plant is looking a bit thirsty.
It's
no,
wilt.
I think I'm all good for hobbies.
We're hobbying on Monday night though.
We are.
You know, I don't know what they do at the moment.
No, I don't know yet either.
We got Monday night hobby nights. Tuesday Liam and Joe show back. I'm playing Joe on Tuesday night again. Mr. De Kyle's back. Busy week next week, actually. 7 streams. And today, chat, I did gym session 6 out of, for Cass at least, if Cass is still in chat, 6 out of 10. Cass has said if I do 10 gym sessions without stopping, he'll become a Thane.
Ah.
Yeah. I'm on session number 6. And I'm calling him out loud on stream, so if he's out there, he's like, oh, fuck. But I'm on session number 6. Gym session number 6 today. And I am sore, but I am actually thoroughly fucking enjoying it. I've really missed the gym.
I can't do gyms.
Why? Why?
Because the last time I went to a gym, 2 women walked in with selfie sticks. And I don't know how I feel about mobile phones being in the gym, because it's a room where you're there to work hard. And this...
Big yerp.
Thank you, Joseph Spencer, for the 10. Basically doubled our super chat revenue for the night. Tough crowd.
And this woman walked in, and I get it's not everybody, but she was stood in front of the mirrors, which is really unhelpful, because for people who were also in the gym that wanted to do the free weights, they use the mirrors to make sure their form is right.
Yeah.
So she was doing all these like weird poses in front of the mirror and her selfie stick, and then she walked back out again. I just remember thinking, is this the gym now?
There's a few of them in there. Look,
I
actually don't see many. To be fair, the gym that I go to down in Totton, Anytime Fitness in Totton, shout out to them, because it's actually quite a nice gym. It's always fucking clean. I don't think I've ever been in there where there's a machine that's not working or broken down and someone's broke it. Everything's always working. It's air conditioned. It's got fucking big tellies up. I love it. It's brilliant. It's got a shower. It's fucking great as a gym, actually. It's one of the best ones I've used. And I always used to fucking squatty gyms. They were shit. The the gym that I go to, that is something that is incredibly rare. I've almost never seen people posing in mirrors and doing selfies and stuff like that. There has been a couple of specimens of the female variety who clearly weren't going to be breaking a sweat with what they were doing, but were busy looking to see if everybody else was looking at them in their lycra-clad outfit. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Whenever I went to the gym, I'd wear one of your t-shirts and a pair of joggers. Because I get gym wear. If you feel good, you're probably more likely to do something because you feel good. So I do get the angle, but...
Well, it depends. Like I wear typically joggers because I don't do any CV. It's all weightlifting. If it's a hot day, I'll go down in shorts because it's a hot day, right? And I wear these t-shirts, and the ones I normally wear are gym tier. They're fucking cheap as shit. Literally bought 5 for 50 quid because they're cheap as... They're £10 a t-shirt, right? But they fit very nicely. They're loose. You don't get too sweaty. And if you get a bit of a pumple on the arm, they sit nicely around, and they're not like too tight. They're not baggy. It doesn't look like you're wearing your fucking your mum's dressing gown. So I love... That's it. That's all I don't care what I look like. I don't...
One of those look at me and working out ass hats?
Yeah, star, right? I don't gel my hair. I don't give a fuck. I don't care how I look. I'm like, I'm going to work out. And when I'm pushing big, like any kind of big weight for me, I'm like, it's my face. I look awful. Like no one wants to go near me. I look fucking terrifying, I'm sure. And then you do get those women. There's one of the machines, one of the CV machines. This is the one that there's a couple of like places where you typically see these people, right? And there's a CV that's like treadmill, and then there's a stepper. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say a stepper?
I think I know what you mean.
It's quite a tall machine. It's literally a staircase that just rolls through as a staircase.
Yeah.
And then you've got cross trainer, bike, and then some rowers, some rowing machines, right? And typically you'll see them on the stepper, on the top 2 steps, holding onto their little hands, just walking upstairs. And then because of the height elevation they have, looking over their shoulders to see who's looking at them. I'm like, no one cares. The men are all just lifting weights. Is it?
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck about you and your fucking camel toe. Keep climbing up your stairs. No one gives a shit.
My God.
No one gives a shit that your front end is chewing your fucking... Like, no one cares. And then...
What shocks me is that you bitch about the things us women are scared about you knowing.
Anyway. So, there's a couple of women that get in that gym. Once in a blue moon, I see them, and that's what they're doing. It's really rare. It's really rare. In fact, 50% of the people that are in the gym are quite overweight. I'm like, fair play to you. You're in the gym doing something. That being said, I have now seen the worst I've ever seen for posing in the gym. It was today, and it was a man.
Oh, really?
And there's two things he did that I hate. One is a real gym-based pet peeve, right? I fucking hate this. I will always hate this. I will never stop hating this, okay? Now, he was lifting some big weights. Fair play to the guy. He's pretty strong, right? Okay. He was sat on the... Do you know the seated row?
Bomb.
Matt's getting his money's worth there. Jesus Christ. Still can't afford the electricity. For whatever it was we were going to do. I can't afford to put Lucy's underpants in the microwave to warm them up for
Bad.
Thanks, Matt, anyway. Please ignore me. I can't, because she's reading it out, right? I can't. Anyway, this is my biggest fucking pet peeve. Hunt Paint, thank you for 5 gifted. Luce, thanks for the salute.
Meant.
That puts us on 46 of the finest gifted memberships team. We are not even close to our target, and there is 12 minutes of stream left. If in case of emergency, break glass. So, the seated row is where you sit down on a seat, there's like a string machine that comes out, and they have this little metal like triangle handle, and they pull it towards themselves like this, right? Seated row.
Right, yeah, I think
right?
I know. Yeah.
It's on a string machine, right? There's also a seated row machine, which is 2 bars that you pull towards yourself. Similar principle.
Okay.
And he was on this machine this morning, right? And he had big weight on it. Fair play. Probably a little bit more than maybe a little bit more than I normally do on the seated row. Okay. Now, when you do any kind of weight, have you done any real weightlifting at all? I don't want to insult your intelligence here, so I'm going to ask first.
No, I probably should, because the closer women get to menopause, the risk of osteoporosis when we're older because bone strength, etc.
So-
So I probably should do some kind of strength stuff.
There's two parts of a movement when you lift weights, right? The in and the out, essentially. There's more technical names for these, but for sake of simplicity, we're going to call it the in and the out, right? You've got the explosive in, where you pull the weight towards you, or you push it up, or whatever it might be,
Right.
right? You've got the explosion, and then you've got the back down to rest, right?
Okay.
So if you're bench pressing, you've got the explosion up, and then you bring it down to your chest, okay? If you're rowing, you've got the explosion towards you, and then you let it back out, right?
Okay.
And there's essentially two parts to a rep, to a single rep, right? A repetition. Okay. Now, when you push out, it's fine to be explosive. You shouldn't do things like lock arms. That's how I've watched this. That's how people's arms snap the wrong way, and then their arms fold in on themselves and they drop the weight, or their legs snap. I've seen that as well. But you have the explosion out, so you don't quite lock. And then anyone who does reps properly, what you should do is control the back in, and that's the hardest part of the rep. Actually, controlling the back in, your fucking arms shaking because you've got big weights on, is the hardest part of the rep. Okay, but the control is also part of the form, and the form is really important for working the muscle group properly. Too many people I see go, like, what are you doing? Where are you trying to row to?
Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, right. So when I do any kind of heavy weightlifting, it doesn't matter whether I'm doing a bench press or whether I'm doing so if we think about machines specifically, a seated row or an overhead, like a shoulder press or whatever, on the very last rep every time of the set, so you do sets, and sets are sets of reps, right? On the very last one, I will so the biggest one for this is the lat pull down machine, okay? Where you pull the bar down in front of you and then bring it back up again. Now, if I'm sat on the machine and I put my arms all the way up, right, the weights aren't touching each other.
No.
There's a gap still, right? So what I do is on the last rep, as I get to the point where I'm just about ready, I step up with the machine and gently lower the weights onto each other. Yeah, that's what you should do. Because otherwise they go, and they can snap in half. Right, they break. This fucking Twatosaurus Rex this morning, right? This is my biggest pet hate in the world. He would do his row and he'd let out. He was doing it. His form was quite good, to be fair. On the last set, every time, just let go of it basically. To get halfway, let go. You bang at the end of every set, and everyone in the gym's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And I feel like it's a look at me tactic. Look how big the weights are that I'm lifting. It fucking annoys me. And the biggest reason why it annoys me is because you literally break the weights,
And then no one can.
and then no one can use the machine.
Yeah.
Because if the weights come up, like it could be quite dangerous if the weights are broke, right? That wasn't the worst part he did.
Oh. Okay.
So my attention was drawn to this young fellow already, right? Because of the noise he was making by slamming weights together. Really fucking annoys me. And my collar gets up straight away and I'm already annoyed by it. And I want to go and say, can you please put them down fucking properly? Because other people want to use them later. You fucking bellend. He also had a hat, right? Right.
Oh God, it's costume time. Do you need a minute to get into character?
Right. He had a hat, right? I've never understood this in all my life, right? He had a hat. This is a hat, chat. You probably know. In case you didn't, right? This is how you wear a hat, right? True? So you wear a hat. And you can wear it backwards if you really want to be that kind of guy, but I'm not really young enough for that. Anyway.
You literally wore a hat backwards a couple of weeks ago.
You literally didn't salute earlier. We can all tell lies. Right. This is how he wore his hat. I'm not lying. Well, it was a bit more even. Literally, this is how he wore his hat. So, oh, hang on, it's twisted. No, that way. Right? Like that. So when he wanted... I swear to you, right? This isn't the worst part about it either, right? This is part of the characterization of the knobhead, right? So,
Okay, what's your character's name?
knobhead.
Okay.
So if he wanted to go that way, if he wanted to go anywhere, right? So he'd do his weights. I swear to you, this is what's happening. I wish I'd photographed it so you believe me. He'd do his weights. If he wanted to walk somewhere, he'd like, bring your hat up, you twat. I don't understand. Why have you done that? I don't. So he's like nose up, walking everywhere, like he's in a fucking forage cap, like he's wearing his fucking #1 military uniform. Okay. So when I spotted the hat issue, I was like, oh, you are a cunt. And then, right, he was doing seated rows, which is an arm-based exercise, right? An arm-based exercise, did seated rows. And the seated row machine, you have your back to the mirrors in my gym in Anytime Fit. It's just do seated rows. And then he finished his seated row rep. He got up and he went. I just looked at his belly in the mirror.
That's not the muscle group you were working.
Like, that's your arms, you can't. And he just held his shirt up, looking at his fucking abs.
Maybe he wanted like a little boy wee.
No, don't get me wrong. You could have washed things on them, but he's like stood there like walking around with his shirt up, looking at his abs in the mirror, and I was like, "Wow, you're a knob." Oh, why do people do that?
I'm so glad I don't inconvenience myself with the gym anymore. I just do my Mr. Motivators in the house.
But I don't get it. Like, no one looks good in the gym. If you're working out properly, no one looks good in the gym.
Yeah.
You're all fucking red-faced, sweaty, blowing out your arsehole.
You're there to work hard.
That's fine, right? But why do that? I don't get it. So I have in fact seen the worst poser in the gym. It was in fact a male.
Yeah. Wow. You should definitely shake his hand the next time and just say, I want to thank you.
I wish I'd just taken some photos to show you. The hat thing was weird. Right, chat. I don't get what he was. I don't understand. Anyway, chat, we've got 5 minutes left.
I need a fact.
It's been a disastrous stream for us, chat.
No, it hasn't. It's been lovely. Sometimes the quiet ones are nice ones.
The lack of members means Luce hasn't saluted anybody. Run over, making a big deal, asking if he's okay, really concerned about the weights being too heavy for him, making him drop them. If that was here, he'd drive a big lifted pickup truck. He probably does here as well, to be fair, Morty. I'm on English roads as well, right? I hate gym bathrooms. They're so nasty up there, down there, with stadium and gas station bathrooms. No, Anytimes are pretty good and clean. Saints are 3-0 up, Luce! 3-0 up.
What?
Saints are 3-0 up.
Oh.
Yeah. That was my experience in the gym this morning. Whilst I was just sweating with my horrible fucking pushing weight face, blowing that air out of every orifice because it was probably slightly too heavy for me. And advice on how to lose belly fat. Yeah, eat less. What I won't do is a super sad post about how embarrassed I am about my body 9 months ago.
Belly. A gaming Stuka, are you a woman or a man? I think you're a woman, and if you are, the belly fat you're referring to, are you post baby or?
They said earlier hubby, yeah. So I'm assuming
because
female.
That's actually a whole thing, and the belly fat post baby, it's particularly tricky to lose, and no amount of cardio will lose it.
Yeah,
it's heartbreaking, especially when you're grieving a body you had previously, and you don't hate your baby.
It can,
but it's definitely like I wish I'd known.
It can be lost, but you need to be a celebrity You need to be a celebrity with all the people in the world to look after your kid for you, so you can spend 23.5 hours a day doing exercise and eating fucking celery.
Yeah, I do live for the moments. I get some lovely perky pert 18-year-old telling me, just got to jog a bit more and that'll go.
Don't worry, babe.
How many babies have you pushed out?
Don't worry, babe. I won't bring her home. So someone I work with at the gym, I'm just there to work, do my thing and leave. I don't understand how people use it as a social hangout. Well, yeah. Speaking of Saints, going to hump bathroom, right? You fucking aren't. I say it's above bath at the moment. Post kid, yeah, it is post kid.
Yeah. So, do you have? I always say it wrong, but do you have the diastasis recti, which is where you've got? I think this is right. You've got 2 sets of abs. The second set pulls apart the most to make room for the baby bump, and then you have to knit that set of abs back together. There's no point doing any crunches until you can do that. You have to do a special set of exercises to get those to knit back together. And when they're knitting back together, you'll know it because it is the weirdest dull ache in your stomach you've ever felt. But it's things like lying on your side and then doing leg raises, and so you raise your top leg up, get to about halfway back down, and then like bob your leg, so you have to engage your core. It's awful, but doing crunches and sit-ups, it's fruitless, because until you knit that first set of abs back together, you won't work the whole muscle.
There is specific postpartum exercises on Google. There's also a bunch of people that say they're postpartum friendly that aren't.
Yeah.
To be careful. There's a bunch of people that are postpartum friendly that will ask you to do ab exercises that you flat can't do because of exactly what Lucy's just spoken about. Now, I'm no health-based professional. I'm no personal trainer. I'm no physical fitness expert. I've never worked in the fitness industry. I've never been to bodybuilding competitions. I don't spray myself orange. Mine is military-based background and then what's worked for me in the past. In terms of fat burning, realistically, there's a combination of two things that you need to do for any kind of fat burning. And unfortunately, the truth of it really is that you can't normally control where the fat goes from first. It just does burn off somewhere. Your body will choose where it burns it off from first. It might burn it off from your legs. It might burn it off from your arms. It might burn it off from your fucking chest. And it might actually attack your belly. And the two main things are creating a calorie deficit, which is very, very, very simplistically eating less calories than you burn off in the day, right? Now, I don't believe in intermittent fasting. I don't believe in fasting in general. I don't believe in fad diets. I don't believe in all those fucking Atkins diets and all that shit. I don't believe in any of that crap. Never use any of them. Have often, if I really want to get serious about dropping weight, I will drop weight. I've never had a problem. Calorie deficit. And the calorie deficit is done by a couple of ways. You know, less saturated fats, less sugar, is quite a good one. Keep an eye on those. I don't know where you're based, but keep an eye on we in the UK here we have the little like 4 traffic light system thing. I know it's bollocks, but keep an eye on things like that. Less saturates, less salts, less sugars. But ultimately, calories is the big thing, right? So you don't want to overdo your sugars, you don't want to overdo your salts, you don't want to overdo your saturated fats, etc. But the biggest one is calories. So try and keep a rough idea, or if you really want to go for it, keep a rough idea as to how many calories you're burning. There's some apps out there. MyFitnessPal, I think, is one of them, where you can track calories. It's really good. You can scan barcodes and it will just bring the calories in and all that kind of stuff. You can add an apple and it will tell you how many calories it is. And then you want to be looking at how many you're burning off. Sometimes things like smartwatches are good for these because you can track how many steps you've done for calories, etc. A calorie deficit is the best way to lose weight without any kind of question whatsoever. So less fast food, more fruit and veg, because they're less calories in general, right? That also goes hand in hand with slightly better dieting. So things like, are you hungry? Do you grab a bag of fucking Monster Munch or an apple?
But also, are you hungry? Are you sure you're not thirsty?
It's 100%.
You might be thirsty.
Hydration is key, absolutely key, right? But are you hungry? And when you're hungry, if you have a bag of quavers full of MSG and shit, or sorry, Monster Munch, guess what? Afterwards, you're not really satisfied. Probably want another one, right? If you have an apple has a thing called pectin in it. Pectin is an appetite suppressant. So when you eat an apple and you digest pectin, you typically then have less. Oh my fucking god! Wow, Tony, thank you so much for 50 gifted memberships.
Swear to God, you better fucking say it now.
Lewis is salute with both hands.
Good. Good.
Did you cut my hair now? It wasn't a no. But he also said, with the $10 first, chat, by the way, I'm going to say this before she reads it out. With the $10 first, he said, wow, membership gifting on Apple is so much more expensive than on PC. So he's just gifted 50 on Apple. I'm sure that means that everybody else can throw one at us, right? To try and hit the 150 for the t-shirt right before the end. So pectin is an Apple.
Wow, membership gifting on Apple is so much
Tony,
more expensive than on a PC.
You're unreal, man. Thank you so much for 50 gifted right at the close. I'm trying to help out Mrs. the Gaming Stuka, right? So sometimes it's about knowing what's in your food and knowing what is going to literally fill that appetite, what's not. I've recently got Joe onto eating things like berries. So we'll get punnets of berries from fucking hell, Aldi. And the reason why we get punnets of berries is because he snacks like they're a biscuit or a crisp, but they're berries. So one, they're a fruit and vegetable, and two, like some of it's blueberries, which is a power food, which is good for him. Yes, and thank you for the gifted. You're a legend. Love you. Not as much as Tony, obviously, but I still love you. All right, Electman, thank you for the gifted. Hero. Brian, thank you for the gifted. Fuck me, we might hit the 100. Oh my god, we did! Cornelius, thank you for the gifted. That's your fault, Tony Winnick. Inquisitor, thank you for the gifted. You're amazing.
It's also worth saying, and it's really, really cheesy, but you're probably not going to have a successful weight loss journey or just improving your flexibility or your energy or your stamina, any of that, until you like yourself.
Yeah.
It sounds really obvious and cheesy.
There's a couple of things that go alongside that, like who are you doing it for?
Yeah.
Because I often find if I was to say to people, Connor G, thank you for the gifted membership. I was to say to people, I'm going to the gym to get massive, so that Luce thinks I'm more sexy.
Well, yeah,
that's not why I'm going to the gym. No. I'm going to the gym because I'm fed up of not being able to see my own penis. Right? When you have a tiny penis, any kind of a dad belly means you can't see it. Right? Which is horrible going to the toilet standing up. You have to guess where it's going to hit. So that's part of the reason. Also, I used to be relatively well built up top, and I feel like I've lost some of that size. And I've always been a subscriber to Look Good, Feel Good. So I will, tomorrow morning when I get up, I will hate the fact that I have an alarm because I'm going to Warhammer World. So I'll have my cup of tea, I'll brush my teeth. What I'll do then is I'll put my aftershave on, I'll gel my hair because I'll feel better because I'm not just getting in, like I'm not going to get in the car in jogging bottoms and a fucking dressing gown and drive to Warhammer World. So I'll put jeans on, do you know what I mean? And you feel a bit more like I'm ready for the day now. So you're 100% right. If you're doing it for yourself, it's one of the best reasons for doing it. A lot of people get obsessed about tracking weight day to day. Don't do that because you won't see a difference. Track it like once a week. If you want to track it at all, track it once a week. So calorie deficit and making better choices with your food is one of them. I don't subscribe to 74 grams of protein a day and 23 grams. Because no one does it. You're just setting an unrealistic target. Adult humans, on average, take 3 months to set a new habit. Children, it's 3 days. Adult humans is 3 months. You undo a habit in 48 hours. That's how it works.
I saw on the internet that somebody worded this really well, and I think my phone's been listening to us talking because all this stuff's coming through. So it must have been you chatting about the gym, because then my phone started sending me stuff.
Yeah.
And I've heard it worded really well on the internet that there should be 4 trimesters to pregnancy. The first 3 growing the baby, but the 4th one is your body getting back to just supporting you, and the chemical imbalance of the hormones and the trauma and all of that, and essentially grieving your previous body, because very, very rarely do you end up looking how you did before the baby.
I mean, I think without trying to be like a negative Nancy and sound like an arsehole, you'll probably never look the way you did before.
And it's crushing. It's awful because you've saved all your favourite clothes, because all of this imagery we get when we're pregnant of new mums is that they're breastfeeding and there's been no issues with breastfeeding, and breastfeeding helps your waistline snap back in, or so I'm told.
Yeah.
But actually, the sleep deprivation leads to sugar cravings, and
caffeine,
and all of these bad habits that you didn't do while you were pregnant, because caffeine's bad for babies, blah blah blah.
Caffeine, ironically, quite good for weight loss.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Because you do more.
No, because it elevates your heart rate. Your heart works harder when you're on caffeine. It just does.
I lost 3 SDE in 3 months to bring my BMI down for a job would not recommend.
But, I mean, 3 stone in 3 months is impressive, Conway. Thanks for the 5, dude. You're a legend. Thanks for your first ever super chat on the channel as well. What a hero. Bring us on up to 45 of the finest beans. We normally target 100. We're 55 off. Anyway, first main thing, you people have been amazing. Thank you so much. Tony Winnick, what a fucking hero. Thank you for the 50 gifted steel, man. 50's mad. It actually pushed us over the target. I was like, you know what? It's going to be a quiet one. We're going to get maybe 50 members and 30 quid. It'll do. It was amazing yesterday. We'll take it. Tony has absolutely fucking smashed out of the park. Thank you so much. So the first thing, calorie deficit, eat healthier, right? When I say eat healthier, I don't mean track protein and track this and track that and don't eat anything nice. I genuinely do not subscribe to that. Don't eat a Magnum ice cream. Don't eat a chocolate bar. It's bollocks. It's impossible. No one does that. Luce and I will still have the odd takeaway, and we're trying to be more healthy. And we eat more healthy. But Luce, actually, this isn't an ask kiss because I want you to cut my hair. But Luce basically home makes. We had a bacon, cheese, and pasta dish for dinner tonight. Bacon from the butcher's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheese is cheese, right? And then the pasta was all homemade. I genuinely feel better eating Luce's homemade cooking than most of the rest. Tomorrow, I'm less looking forward to tomorrow because Bugman's and fast food. It's what it's going to have to be because I'm not in the house. And I know that I'll feel a bit shitty, but then on Sunday, we'll probably have some form of a roast or some kind of homemade meal. So I don't subscribe to you can only eat wheats and pulses. Like, you need to be able to eat things that make you happy at the same time, but just be conscious of that calorie deficit. So if you have a chocolate bar that's this fucking big, we don't eat the whole thing. But nowadays, some of us struggle with that because it's just, I've opened it now. And then they release these endorphins and these chemicals that make you go more and more and more. And the second thing is then, this is where I slip up when it comes to weight loss. If I really want to go for it, I can do it, but this is where I slip up. It's cardiovascular exercise. But specifically, I think it's called anaerobic exercise. Now, do I mean you need to run as fast as you can for as far as you can? Absolutely not. It's about maintaining a pace of cardiovascular exercise where you can have a conversation with someone and be slightly out of breath at the same time. That's normally the golden rule, right?
Is that anaerobic?
I think it's anaerobic maybe then. Yeah, I think you're probably right? That's the golden rule. So if I was to go and do some cardiovascular exercise with Luce, where I was just out of breath but I could have a conversation, which for me would probably a light jog to heavy walk right now because I'm not the fittest in the world. And you need to do that, I think it's for more than 20 minutes, up to 40 minutes or up to an hour. If you can, so it's a long dog walk, for example, but at a relatively high pace. Or a cycle ride on flat ground, but at a reasonable pace, right? If you do those two things, I promise you, within 6 to 12 months, you will start to lose belly fat. I promise you.
I wouldn't promise that.
I promise you.
The belly fat after babies is particularly difficult to shift, and women break their hearts over it all the time. I wouldn't promise.
But I bet most of those women that break their hearts over it haven't done 6 to 12 months of constant calorie deficit and anaerobic exercise.
I'm going to disagree there.
I mean, you haven't done those two things for 6 months plus.
No, I know, but I've spoken to so many women from all backgrounds, breastfeeding, formula feeding, gym bunnies, not gym bunnies, counting calories, don't count calories.
It is anaerobic. Thank you, Hazai. It is anaerobic then. Anaerobic exercise. That's how you burn off fat. High intensity training is meant to be good fat, but high intensity is good. HIIT training is incredible, but HIIT training is really hard and rough going. And if you're not the fittest in the first place, HIIT training's fucking hard to get into a routine with. And the thing that you need to try and do, the thing that a lot of people try and do is habit set. Habit set is the hardest part of all of this. So habit setting is harder than the jog itself, because you can do the jog once, like I did a jog, that's amazing. And then 2 days time, it's like, go for a jog again. No, I don't want to. It hurt last time. It hurt, I don't want to do it. So the habit setting is the hardest part. Anyway, did you find yourself a fact? Mm-hmm. Is it a fun fact?
It's a fact.
Is it from the book?
Yeah.
Did you go back to the book?
I'm back in the book.
We went to the OG book chat for our loose fact. If you're new, there's still 200 people watching, which is mad for this time on an After Dark. So if you are new here, this is our section, which is called Loose Fact, dedicated to loose. And why it's called Loose Fact is because loose can be typed 2 different ways. L-U-C-E, which is how we spell the name of my wife sat next to me, loose. That normally means it's an actual fact. It's a fact that Luce said. Or loose, L-O-O-S-E. Loose is in, it's not really that true. It's a bit bollocks, a bit nonsense. So Luce is going to read us this fact, and then you have to type in chat which one you think it is. Is it loose fact, as in true, or is it loose fact, as in absolute fucking nonsense? Let's find out.
The word queuing is the only English word with 5 consecutive vowels. You're welcome for me keeping you up all night tonight while you go through every single word you've ever come across in your lives.
So queuing is Q-U-E-U-E-I-N-G. Yeah?
Q-U-E-U-E. Yeah. U-E-U-E-U-E.
It's like old MacDonald at the farm.
U-E-U-E-U-E-U-E.
So the fact is that this streamer might not have eyebrows tomorrow. I'll be at Warhammer World. Everyone's like, Liam looks constantly surprised. Yes, it's anaerobic. You will build lactic acids too quickly and destroy your muscles. I'm getting on Google now. I like this fact. I feel like it's false. What English words have 5 consecutive vowels? It might be true. Although, if you go onto the johndcook.com, I don't know who he is. The question was, what English word has 5 consecutive vowels? Unfortunately, the English language does not have 5-letter words with all vowels. It's not what they asked, is it, you fucking moron? Which word has 6?
You. And on that farm he had a vow.
The word EUEOEA.
What? What word?
EUOUAE, a mnemonic used in medieval music, is the only word to contain 6 consecutive vowels, and unsurprisingly, is the longest word with no consonants in it.
That's an English word.
Supposedly.
Oh.
But that would mean it also has 5 consecutive vowels, which would make your fact false.
Cueable. Is cueable a word? Well, that line there looks cueable.
I mean, it feels like it should be an English word. That 100% should be an English word. That line looks cueable.
That line
Fucking
looks
brilliant.
cueable.
This word is... Hang on, chat. Here's the word.
Or we've got aardvark.
I reckon I've definitely heard Joe say words with more than fucking 5 consecutive vowels in it. Paste. This word. There you go. There's the word. Cueable also has 5. There you go. How would you say that word? I can't say. This is where it's actually turned into a proper After Dark stream for once.
You need to be from Newcastle to say that.
Newcastle has only 1 vowel.
Yeah.
So if you're in the south, you say A-E-I-O-U. Yeah. And if you're in Newcastle, you go E-E-E-E-E. That's how they say it in Newcastle.
I still love my, when I was eavesdropping and I was in York and I heard someone to go, I'm outside outfitter. I was
Outfitter.
like, that's a Newcastle
Fucking
accent.
YI. Outfitter. Diarrhea.
Outfitter. I learned a way to spell diarrhea. Dia, D-I-A, Roger Rabbit hopped over every apple. And every time I filled out a care plan, I had to do Dia, Roger Rabbit hopped over every apple.
Brian's nailed it, Liz.
Is there 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian, for the 2. By the way, you legend. You're amazing. U-U-E. That sounds like you stepped in a Lego brick. Yeah. False queuing. You people are amazing. Right, I need to go to bed. I've got an early start tomorrow, and I've still got to get loose to cut my hair yet. So, we'd say goodnight to you wonderful people in chat. I'm aware she's going to interrupt me for Brian's $2. You are a legend, Brian. Thank you so much for 2. But a huge, monumental... Saints won 3-1 into the final. A huge thank you to everybody who gifted, but a monumental thank you to Tony Winnick, who it sounds like not only gifted 50 members, but did it via Apple as well.
Right.
Well, it adds £1 per membership. If you gift 5 memberships on YouTube, right,
oh my God,
it costs you £24.95 because it's $4.99 each. Right. If you do the same thing on Apple, it costs you £29.95. They charge £1 more. He gifted 50.
Oh wow.
If you gift 50 memberships, chat, just for some context, it costs you £249 something. I'm not sure what it is. It's 250 quid. Yeah. So it would have cost him £300 to gift 50 memberships.
Oh man.
That's why I was like, it's so incredibly impressive. Because not only has he gifted memberships, but he paid the Apple tax to do it, just so we hit our target. If you're typing to chat, I can see what you write.
Oh yeah, I know.
So, Tony, if you're still there, man, huge props to you, dude. Thank you so much for gifting 50 on 40k After Dark. 40k After Dark used to be like our most popular monetized stream, and it's become the worst. I don't know what we've done. What have you done differently? Is it because you were saluting, but people couldn't see you saluting? Maybe it's your fault. Maybe it's your fault. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us, you wonderful people. If you are anywhere near Warhamster World tomorrow, or if you're in Warhamster World tomorrow, remember, it's not...
What are 6 vowels?
It's not a... Thank you, Brian. It's not a ticketed event, so if you are local, you want to pop in, just have a look around Warhammer World for this. I'm going to be there with Mr. the Car tomorrow. Mr. the War Hipster's there as well, actually. So if you are around or in the area, please don't be shy. Come and say hello. We'll chat bollocks for 5 minutes. You'll realise I'm the same dickhead in real life that I am on camera. But please. I've had this before. Do you know how many times I've been to an event or something, and then someone someone will come into a chat like 2 days after the event or a week after the event, and be like, oh, I saw you at such and such, but I didn't come and say hello. Like, just come and say hello, please.
Throw stuff at him.
I won't bite. I promise you. Just come and say hello. You're all amazing. So please feel free to come and say hello if you are about tomorrow. Honestly, genuinely, I won't bite much hard with all my teeth. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Next week, we return to a full complement of streams. So Monday, Luce and I will be back with our hobby hangout at Monday night, 7:30. Tuesday, we've got the Liam and Joe AoS show at 1:30, followed by another live game of 40k, another Chaos Space Marines preview. We're going to see the Night Lords detachment at 7:30 on Tuesday night. Wednesday, we're back with the Warhammer show at 7:30. Thursday, we're back with the Liam and Joe show at 13:30 for 40k, and then another game with another different Chaos Space Marines detachment Thursday night, 7:30. Then we have this again a week today. Right? So much content all the time. And I've got to start editing the Vince saga soon as well. And he can talk, that bloke.
Was it nice having Vince?
I love Vince.
Yeah.
Vince is incredible. He's I'm sure he won't mind me saying, he never watches the content. He's hard work because he gets so excited. But it's hard but also amazing at the same time. So it's tiring because he's just energy fucking constantly. But it's also like you feed off of it a little bit as well, and you get excited at the same time because he's just excited about everything all the time. But sometimes I feel like, oh my god, you've got a toilet seat, is what he's like, constantly. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Anything you want to say before we go, Luce?
Nope.
Nothing at all?
Nope.
All right. Thank you so much for watching, you beautiful humans. We'll see you in the next one.